I wish we could go faster.
Hello and welcome to another Game Sans Frontiera here from Rickydees Productions. My name is Ricky. This series hasn't existed for about a year and a half. We decided to bring it back. Anyways, that's Manuel in the back. That's Austin right there. My name is Ricky, of course. We're in a car. We're on the interstate, and I thought that'd be a cool place to drive. We're gonna be talking a little bit loud just because of all the wind and stuff. And yeah.
Wind, road noise, things like that.
You know how it is, black and yellow. Okay. Let's, well, what just happened last week? We had E3. So a lot of stuff happened. We had conferences from all different people. Some were interesting, some weren't, some stuff sucked. Okay. So we condensed all this and we fought about it and we, you know.
This is like a good hour's worth of deciding content just for this.
So we got a top five of what we think was the best at E3, what we think is most exciting. We're gonna start off with number 5, which is Spider-Man on the PS4. Spider-Man on the PS4, it looks so freaking cool. It's being made from Insomniac Games, so the same people who did Ratchet & Clank, and who also, which is what makes me super excited about this game, is the Sunset Overdrive, which had such great movement throughout the city. And one thing about Spider-Man is, you know, his flexibility, being able to web around the city really easily, and I think they can bring a really natural kind of progression through the city, and that's what I'm most excited about. It looks like, and what I heard from it, it sounds like it's going to be a brand new story. The fighting looked pretty cool. It kind of looked a little bit Arkham-y, which I'm okay with. That's a good way to have a game. I liked Shadow of Mordor, which copied the same thing. It looks really nice. He has a new suit, which is one of my things. Is kind of like, I don't like the big white spider in the front. I like an inconspicuous spider personally on the suit, but it's fine. He has those Signico eyes that kind of go in and out. Apparently allow him to zoom in as well. It honestly just looks really cool, and I'm gonna, because all the Spider-Man games to me have looked really cool. Even like Web of Shadows and Shadow Dimensions have all looked really cool to me, but they just haven't really panned out as well as they should have.
They don't deliver in the end.
So I'm still definitely a little kind of, you know, I'm not gonna put my full heart out to it just yet, but I feel like it's gonna be good. Like, just all the factors kind of feel like it's gonna be a good one. Only thing is it's PS4 exclusive, which kind of sucks because I'm gonna have to buy a PS4 because I only have an Xbox One right now. But that's okay. I'll definitely, if it's good, I mean, I'll buy a PS4 just for it. You guys have anything to say about it?
I think it'll be cool. I like the Batman Arkham games personally, so to see the Spider-Man game, I'm always excited for a Spider-Man game. I just hate that they, in the past, none of them have ever really kind of delivered that promise. I think this is the first one that's probably going to, so I am getting excited for this one.
Manuel, you have anything?
Honestly, it looks really cool. There's some cutscenes in the trailer where you can actually see Spider-Man going, like, stopping a car, going through, like, a coffee shop or something. They look really interesting. I'm kind of unsure, or interested to see where they're going with Spider-Man, though, because, like, he's had a lot of games in the last few years, but they, like you guys have set up, been mediocre. And right now I'm just looking for something that's going to be better than Spider-Man 2, which is going to be hard to do, but from the looks of it, it looks like they'll be able to easily do it.
Now we're going on to number 4, which is Detroit Beyond Human.
Becoming Human.
Become Human, sorry. It's a stupid name. I don't even know why they put Detroit in there. Like, what the heck? This is a game which is an android. You're basically an android and you make decisions. It looked cool. Like, I was pretty interested when I first saw the trailer to it. In making decisions, it actually makes an impact, and there's a bunch of different storylines. Now, there have been other games that have the same type of idea to it, that you know, make decisions that actually changes the story. But this one brings your an android, so you're kind of learning, I guess, to become human, which that part of the, you know, title makes sense. Manuel is the one who picked this, so what do you got to say about Manuel?
Honestly, it looks really good. It's made by the same people who made Quantum Dream, Heavy Rain, other stuff like that. And at this point, they have a lot of history of doing games like this. And it looks very interesting from the way they've done it. It makes it look like they're going to have multiple protagonists and with multiple branching storylines, which they have traditionally done. On top of that, it just seems like an overall really interesting idea. They've had this idea ever since their tech demo called Kara for the PS3. Kara, probably. But yeah, it looks really great, and I'm just interested in seeing where they're going with it.
What about you, Austin?
So, I was in Detroit for a little bit, so the feeling and the connection to Detroit kind of is special for me. So I think it has a little bit of favoritism for me. Gameplay, I'm iffy, so we're gonna kind of see on that, but this game definitely has a very cool concept. Something that I probably would have loved to have seen, you know, years ago, but I'm glad we're seeing it now at least. And so it's like, I'm just excited to see what it'll be about. And it seems like the choices you'll make, there'll be more of that intense, like, you know, kind of clutch moment decisions. So it's gonna be cool.
All right, moving on to number 3, we have Forza Horizon 3. It looks freaking amazing in terms of graphics. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, that looks fucking pretty. Austin's the one who picked this one. He's gonna go ahead and take this one.
So, Forza Horizon 3, it seems like every time a new Forza game gets released, or the Horizon series is getting released, it's kind of to show off, like, what we've achieved as far as like our FPS, our graphics, things like that, because they just constantly get better, and it's such a fast-moving game that it really shows off what consoles can do and stuff. So I'm excited to see that. I mean, we're getting better, we're gonna get the better graphics. We're getting a new setting in Australia this time, which is cool. I mean, we've made it to Europe in the past, and the first one being in Colorado. I've personally played both. I love both. I did absolutely everything in the game you could possibly do, unlocked every car. And then the other big thing is this year with this game, we're gonna see the Lamborghini Centurion. Hope I say that right, I'm not sure. Haven't heard exactly what they're gonna call that yet, but that'll just be cool to see. I'm a big Lamborghini fan personally, so I'm excited to see that car. And the trailer looks awesome, so it gets me excited for what's about to come.
You have anything to say, Manuel?
Honestly, it looks pretty good. After playing Forza 6, I'm really impressed with how they're doing things. And also, there's going to be more car customization and Forza 3 and stuff like that.
On to number 2. This one's going to be another Horizon Zero Dawn. PS4 exclusive. It's a girl running around with a bow and arrow. In a future dystopian world, and it's got fucking robot dinosaurs, and it fucking looks cool. Unfortunately, it was delayed until next year, I believe. It looks awesome. Manuel's the one who picked this. Go ahead and take this.
So basically, it's set in the future after humanity has gotten fallen. It's got some Native American like themes based on it, and you can definitely see it in the character designs and some more like what they're wearing and types of weapons they're using. There's also going to be some type of hacking in the game, like when you stop some robots. You can also go and upgrade weapons and different things with the parts that you come across.
That's Horizon Zero Dawn. Do you have anything to say, Austin?
I'm excited to see that one. It seems like that's going to bring a lot of new stuff, and it's going to graphically look amazing, so I'm just excited to see it when it does come out.
I'm excited, and if it's good, if it's really good, I'm going to buy a PS4 just for that. Like, that's going to move me over and have me buy it when I finally trade in my PS3, you know? All right, moving on to number 1. This one's going to be Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wind. It's another 3D Zelda, so it's pretty freaking cool. You know, I don't feel like they can go really wrong with Zelda. Everyone loves, well, most people love Zelda. These guys are kind of about it. I personally love it. I've loved it ever since Ocarina of Time. This brings this kind of original Legend of Zelda idea to the 3D world, right? So ever since Ocarina of Time, they've kind of had less of a explorative. It's kind of more set of what dungeons you go to. You go to this one first, second, third, fourth, right? This one's a lot more open. It really reminds me of Skyrim, where you can go anywhere. Even in the tech demos that they were showing that you could actually play, you could go anywhere. There was like 3 different shrines you could go to, and they're basically like mini dungeons. And there's also regular dungeons. And it looked really cool. Like this, and the art, it just looks so beautiful. Like I want to play this game, and I want to have it now. It just, I'm gonna fucking buy an NX for just exclusively this. This is another game that, you know, I will exclusively buy. And it's so different, honestly, than any other Zelda game I feel like I've played in a long time. So I'm really excited, especially since I'm playing Skyward Sword. This looks completely different. All right, that's our top 5. Starting with number 5, we had Spider-Man PS4. Number 4, we had Detroit Beyond Human, or Becoming Human, Become Human. 3, we have Forza Horizon 3. 2, we had Horizon Zero Dawn. And then number 1, we had Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, one thing that was announced, the one thing that happened from one person, one company only, was hardware. And that was from Xbox. They announced the Xbox One S and the Xbox Scorpio. Now the Xbox One S will be available later this year. I believe it's in August at $299, which is basically just a really small, 40% smaller, I believe, Xbox One. It has up to 2 terabytes of storage, is one big difference, and it's also going to have 4K and HDR gaming for displaying, and it will play some games better, such as Gears of War, which is one example. It'll just play better on there. I guess it just makes, I think it's the same internals. I think it just makes better use of them, or it might have some little bit differences inside of it. And it also comes in white, and it also comes with a controller that now has Bluetooth, and it also has padding on the inside, which I personally like. I have a lunar white Xbox controller, and it's one of the best I've ever had. And that padding on the inside really, you know, improves that quality. Along with the Xbox One S, we also had the Scorpio, which doesn't have an announced date other than holiday 2017. And it's going to be this lot more powerful Xbox One. I think Xbox One. It's just called Xbox Scorpio right now. This makes me think that it's, what is it, like 7 teraflops of power. Is what 6 teraflops of power. Whatever, you know. I think, and it's going to be compatible with VR, which is interesting because Xbox doesn't have their own VR like PlayStation does. This makes me think they're either going to partner up with HTC Vive, or they're either going to partner up with what's the other company called? Oculus Rift. Which either one would be awesome, because I feel like they're both going to be better than PSVR. They're both going to be more expensive though. And this brings me into my next point. I feel like Xbox is going into this type of kind of how cellular phones do it, you know, cell phones do it, where you have your Galaxy lineup, but you have all these levels of power inside your Galaxy lineup. So I feel like, okay, you have your Xbox One S here at the lower level, which still plays the same games that your Xbox Scorpio will, but your Xbox Scorpio will play them a bit better, and you'll also have a couple exclusives like your VR. So that's how I think that is going to pan out, and I think I'm totally okay with it going that way. I personally right now have an original Xbox One, and I'm going to keep it. I'm definitely not going to go over the Xbox One S, because I don't feel like it's that much of an upgrade for me. I feel like whoever's going to buy this Xbox One S is going to be the person who hasn't bought an Xbox One yet. They've been waiting out, trying to see, kind of scope out the market. And I feel like this is the best time to jump in. It's a really good price of $299. Trade in your Xbox 360 and do it. They also announced one more thing before I let these guys talk. Customizable remotes or controllers. You can like pick every single color of anything, and you can get it engraved with some lettering too. It looks really cool. They're like $90 if you get the engraving as well, or $80 without it, which I thought was really awesome. Austin, go ahead. What do you think about this?
I don't have much to say on it, but I do think it's going to be really cool. I was going to possibly consider the Xbox One S this fall when it comes out and releases, but then seeing all the stuff with the Xbox Scorpio, which whatever that'll be, makes me a lot more interested. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wait. But The Xbox One S is perfect for the price it's at right now. If you don't already have an Xbox and you actually have a 4K TV, this is going to come with that 4K Blu-ray player. So a lot of people might argue that it's not quite like worth the upgrade, but it's like for anyone who has 4K, I would say go for it, because by the time you consider what it's going to cost to get the normal Xbox One plus your 4K Blu-ray player, you're coming out at more. So they're kind of giving you a good small package, all-around package that can play everything, does everything, powerful. So I think it's really cool. I don't necessarily like the idea of them doing this every generation though, because it kind of nerfs those people that, you know, got in on it early.
But I feel like the difference between, you're still going to be able to play the same games on the Xbox One that you can on the Xbox One S.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, it's cool and that's good.
You're not missing out on anything other than a bit of better gameplay, and if you have a 4K TV, which not a lot of people do currently.
Yeah, it's not big yet.
I feel like in like 4 years it might be a little more prevalent with 4K, but as of yet, I still, like some people do have 4K obviously, but I still feel like 1080p is just fine for me.
I feel like what they did with the 360 was about as far as I ever want to see stuff like that go. But I'm okay with it this time just to see the direction it takes. Like when they released the Xbox 360 Slim, that's when I finally got my 360. And that wasn't bad, because they kind of tend to do that those last few years. They'll release the Slim model. Whereas this time we're seeing it only 3 years in, so we're projecting about another 4 years to have the Xbox One S, and then we'll have 3 years of the Scorpio. So I don't
really
know.
brings into question how long our console's gonna last.
Yeah, it just makes me worried that we'll get to a point where we're not going to see a consistent 7 years. Like we might start seeing like a 4 year and then a 3 year even. And it's like, I don't ever want to go low like that. I like to enjoy the console for a good amount of time.
And also, at the end of a console's lifetime, you see some of the most amazing things with the Xbox 360 and PS3. You had GTA 5, which was freaking amazing for what it was on.
Yeah.
The same console that freaking Halo 3 came on, and it's, if you look at GTA 5 and you look at Halo 3, worlds apart.
It is.
Anything you have to say about it, Manuel?
Honestly, like you said, I'm really excited for what they're going to be able to do with it. I'm personally going to move away from Microsoft systems at this point, just because most of their exclusives, they're now going to start coming to PC. And so there's not really a point for me in owning the console.
Fair enough.
On their side. But also, I think it's a very good idea for people who want that extra power and have 4K TVs. And I know a few years ago they were rather expensive, but now they're coming down in price. And so for what they aren't bad, and especially for the price of a video game console, a Blu-ray player that can support 4K, and all that other stuff, it's kind of a good deal.
Yeah, it is. It's a good deal.
And also, usually in the mid to end of their life, they really do start showing what they can truly do. Just like God of War 3, that just looks incredible on the PS3.
And Last of Us, well,
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, that's basically all our main stuff. Now we have some honorable mentions which didn't make the list, unfortunately. How about you go first, Manuel?
Cool. My honorable mention is We Happy Few. It looks like a mixture between 1964 or 1974, sorry, BioShock and A Clockwork Orange. And you can definitely see the inspiration from those, from a dystopia post-World War II, Great Britain. So yeah.
It looks like a really cool game, and I wish it would have made the list, honestly. Austin, you go next?
So my honorable mention was Battlefield 1, and because these are honorable mentions, I don't want to say a whole lot. You know, they didn't earn that spot on the list, so. But, I mean, what more do you got to say besides it's the most liked video on YouTube, you know? So, I don't know. Give it a check out. I'm excited for it. I think it's new, it's fun, it's a little bit fresh, so it's going to keep things going.
Yeah, and more people, yeah, then it might be Call of Duty this year, so.
It will be.
And then my honorable mention was limited edition or special edition, or whatever it's called. It's basically a revamped, remastered, definitive edition of Skyrim for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. If you've already had it on PC, though, you can mod it. So, but it's big for Xbox One and PS4 players, especially because we're getting also mods with it, which is gonna be freaking amazing. So I'm really excited for that, and I'm definitely gonna buy it and lose a couple days, months,
Weeks, months, even maybe a year.
Yep. All right, that's all here at Game Sans Frontiera. If you have any questions, make sure to drop those in the comment section. If you have any comments, complain about anything, in there. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to see more, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.